Hey everybody, this is Joseph Hasek and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the Soccer Show. Welcome to the Hall of Famer, John Freeman Nelson. I haven't done a soccer show in quite a few months, put it that way. A few months. We're going to be joined hopefully by the coach, CARMINE, who, by the way, his team won the championship last weekend. So we're going to have a big bash here. But John, big news in the MLS. Atlanta, not bad weather. Okay, not bad weather, but November, December, January, February, even though they're taking those months off in MLS, but imagine playing one or two games in the snow, in the cold
Come
in
on.
Toronto,
Stop it.
and hold on, and
Stop.
like they always say when you play at around the CNE, it's cooler by the lake.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So tell everybody what MLS is planning to do in 2027.
Yeah. So here's the grid. As Don Garber, they have their Board of Governors meeting, and they had the big announcement yesterday. And it is going to be where in mid-July of 2027, that's when they're going to start and be in line with the international calendar. So mid-July of 27 through May of 28, MLS is going to have a new format. Before that, they're going to have what they're calling at the moment a sprint season, which is going to be 14 matches between mid-February and mid-May is kind of that transition where you'd normally have training camp in the early part of the schedule as we have it now. So that's going to be fun. Working backward, once again, you're going to be coming out of the World Cup cycle and heading in, and you're going to align yourself with the international calendar. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, that's the way it's going to look. And you're also, if you're a subscriber for Apple TV through MLS Season Pass, it's going to come back to the front page, so you don't have to do like 2 clicks to get into it. If you're a season ticket holder, you get Apple TV for free as a part of your deal. So it's a lot of pluses across the board for the upcoming integration of MLS's calendar into the international calendar.
As you could see, we're joined by the one and only CARMINE, and John. CARMINE told me yesterday as we were planning that his team. Well, CARMINE, tell everybody what happened last week. Did you win something? Are you again a championship coach?
Yeah, we won the U Sports Snowball. We won the national championship last week.
Now, did you get a
So
ring? Did you get a ring?
sorry.
Did you get a ring? Did you
Yeah,
get more money?
not yet, not yet.
Uh,
None of the above so far.
Is me and John eligible for a ring? No
I
comment.
don't
Look
know.
at it.
I'll ask.
No,
I'll
no, no
ask.
comment. No. So, Carm, as you were coming in, me and John were talking about the new sort of league for MLS. Do you like it as a Canadian coach, coaching in the weather and all that? Is that does that affect it, or doesn't matter? You play when you play when you play.
Yeah, absolutely affects it. I mean, I can't imagine playing in January or February in Toronto or Montreal or Chicago for that matter. But they did it with the World Cup. They managed. They did it with World Cup qualifying. They did it. So I mean, it's doable playing in February in Edmonton or March in Edmonton. So it's doable. Is it going to be ideal for fans? Is it going to be the best situation for you know for that part of it? I don't think so. So yeah, we'll see how it works out. But I'm no, I'm not. I'm a big fan with aligning with the big leagues, but it's not necessarily realistic. Hopefully, they do something with the schedule.
Well,
And
they already now. I mean, if you're in Montreal, they play the first handful of matches on the road anyway, and you get your home games stacked at the back end. So, the number that was put forth by Major League Soccer is that 91% of your calendar doesn't change. So it's just taking those cold weather games and reorienting them into the base of the schedule. I think you'll be fine.
All right.
yeah,
So,
I think
Carm,
they could sell it. They could sell it like those outdoor NHL games.
uh,
Maybe play soccer on an ice rink. Makes sense.
okay, Carmen, let's talk about this, and then I'll get to John about the U.S. But Canada playing Ecuador last night in BMO Field, and they played with 10 men for about 85 minutes. After they took after me when they kicked and he got a red card. It was like me kicking Norm, right? I get fed up and doing shows with Norm and like, look. But what did you think of Canada, Ecuador overall?
I mean, Canada was, considering the circumstances, Canada was fantastic and probably had the two best chances of the game. Um, so, there's a little bit of you could question some of the emotional control of the Canadian team, and I think that there's a little bit of overdoing that part of it, but it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see. It's an exciting team. They really have they really have the temperament to match their athleticism, and they can't do that every day. They can't you know walk the line of getting a red card every game, because that's just going to come back and bite them. But it shows togetherness. It's kind of identified them as that team that no one really wants to play against, because they better be ready to fight. And it's kind of as we saw it at this Copa America, that you need to be at this level of mental temperament to survive. I mean, let's remember correctly, they went to the semifinals and lost to an Argentinian team that eventually won it. And their temperament was and their style of play really matched the circumstances. But I'm not sure they can toe the line when it comes to World Cup. I really think that there's got to be a little bit of emotional stability when things come. But they're an exciting team to watch. They're a high level, high intensity, high pace, and it'll be interesting to see how they continue this, because we're going into the World Cup.
All right, now, John, I'll go back to you. What about the U.S.? And some people are saying Canada is ahead of the U.S. as we talk right now. What do you say about that?
Well, I mean, I want to know what they're saying that they're ahead of them in specifically. I mean, I know that there is discussion here in the United States in some circles that Mauricio Pochettino is working on players 15 through 25 or 26, and that's who you're seeing called into these camps, especially when the European clubs are in the middle of their season and they don't want to let their star players go as they're chasing after domestic titles and presence in European competitions. So that's why with this particular November camp, there you don't have any of the big guns. You've got 4 keepers that are in camp. You have Joe Scally returning, Gio Reyna's returning. And so I think that, as the number of matches dwindle that you're going to have as a national team, I think that's where Pochettino is right now and trying to figure out. It's like, in a perfect world, that when we have the competition next summer, that you're going to have your big guns, Christian Pulisic, Flair, and Balogun, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What does that balance look like in the remainder of your roster from, say, 15 to 25 or 6? And I think that's what you're staring at here. In addition to solidifying your keeper situation, does it look like it's Matt Freese? Probably, but you have 3 other keepers in camp to kick the tires on. So you're getting some players back in to kind of get peaks. Will they be a part of your depth going forward? Or, what's it going to look like? Is anybody going to surprise to the point like a Chris Richards has, where he has jumped from being in camps to having Oliver Glasner pissed off that he shouldn't be playing when he's one of your stalwarts on defense these days? So I think that's where we are right now with this November camp specifically.
Okay, we're 8 months away from the World Cup here in Toronto, in the U.S. and Mexico. And don't forget the draw. I believe the draw, John, is December 6th, right?
It is December, whatever that Friday is. It's the 5th. December 5th. The 5th is it's looks like it is noon, I believe, on the 5th, which is that Friday. So there you go.
And a little birdie told me, so the president of the province of Canada, that Donald Trump will be in attendance there, right? Donald Trump will be in attendance. That's what I hear.
At the Kennedy Center, that is what I understand, yes.
Yes, so and maybe they're going to play a game in the Donald Trump Stadium in Washington. Never mind. All right, so let's talk. Let's quickly go around. Well, Carmen, maybe we'll start off here in the EPL. Here, they're a week off, but 10, 11 matches in there. Are you surprised that Arsenal's at the top?
No, not surprised at all. But I do want to just talk about the U.S. a little bit
Okay,
before
here we go.
we
I'll
move
come
on.
back. You and
It's
John have it
I
out.
don't think I think that beyond the fact of selection process and selecting, they've been ho hum. You know, people are critical of their performances, which they should be. Canada, on the other hand, has not been ho hum. They've been, all guns a blazing. You know, they have that massive chip on their shoulder, and it feels like the U.S. thinks that they have nothing to prove anymore. That I think with
Wow.
question mark. No,
Wow.
that's the question mark. That's the question mark I think people are talking about. And
Wow.
yeah, they've been ho hum. Performances have been, like hanging on to beat some minnows, and it just emotionless. That shows a downfall after the days of when he had the great Tottenham teams. So it's been that way, and I think that people are questioning that. So if we're staying in the national team idea, I don't. They have great players, and that's probably a more of a problem than it is a positive. Unlike Canada, who are they could select I don't know maybe 6 players to make their 18 to 23, but the U.S. who could select 30 players to make their 18 to 23. But I don't think it's that. I think it's a question of performance and the question of lack of emotion, lack of intensity, lack of. So it just feels that way. That yeah, maybe these players are more concerned about their club and their future rather than the U.S. That's what's been the kind of sentiment that's been around here.
John, you want a rebuttal?
Well, I mean, Carmen and I are good.
And Jonathan David was CONCACAF Player of the Year, so over all the Americans. So.
And I'll stipulate this. I know that since we have a time limit today, Carmen and I probably could go back and forth on the national team topics and have our own hour and a half yelling and ranting and raving session about going back and forth. I will present it this way to a coach. I want to ask a coach this question. I will stipulate that there has been some concern about the want to gene and have taken a little time to get the engine turned over in matches that you should have control over. But I want to ask you this, Carm, when you have players coming into camps where you basically have maybe 10 days to 2 weeks, and you hope that you have a base of players coming into said camp to function either for a tournament or for a couple of friendlies, when you're still trying to integrate what a coach wants to do, and you can only do it a week or two, 10 days at a time, over a couple of months at a time. How difficult is it to integrate a new system, a new coach, the demands of all of that, and not really knowing what your player roster is going to be in any given window? How difficult is it to integrate in a new coaching situation?
Fair. But I mean, I think Jesse's at the same level as far as
Jesse's been
preparation.
there longer. Jesse's been there longer.
Not much.
I don't
Not
think
much.
And I don't think your talent pool is as questioned
Not much.
as it would be
Not much
in the
longer.
United States.
Jesse hasn't been there much longer, but the difference you see is I think it's kind of a little more passion, a little more identity for the flag, a little more identity for the group with the Canadian team right now. I think there's more commitment, and you hear it when you talk to the players. It's not. I'm just telling you the truth. You hear it, and you look at Tajon's performance, and you look at David's performance. It's not like they're holding anything back, especially yesterday against Ecuador, or it's and Richie Laria all the time. There's not like they're worried about their next club performance.
And they don't have to worry about their spot either, Coach. Their spot's locked in on the national team.
that's even more of a of them being committed to the process. That's what I haven't seen. That they're committed to the process. They're committed to the team. You watched Tajon Buchanan last night. He was putting himself in situations where he could have got hurt. So in counter argument of what you're saying is they probably should go through the motions because Tajon, Jonathan, um, players of that ilk, Ahmed, they already have a place on the team, but they don't. They don't. Nico Sugar. These players play with 100,000% intensity, 100,000% commitment, and I'm sorry, I haven't seen that yet with the U.S. national team. It's pragmatic. Maybe what you're saying, there's pragmatism versus intensity and passion and sacrifice, but I'll take the latter every time.
When you have more answers already going in than you do questions, I would anticipate that a team would respond the way that Canada does. I still think, and this is the downside to having only X number of windows and X number of friendlies before you are out there chasing after a world championship, that with a player pool that is as deep/diverse, or however you want to say it, it's got 2 or 3 pages to it, you're still trying to figure out those dudes that can wrap themselves around Pulisic, Balogun, Weah, Yunus Musa, Jedi Robinson, Weston McKennie, all that stuff. And you're also battling.
You'd expect a level of intensity and battle. And
I'd also like for all of them to be healthy all the time, Coach. I'd also like for them to be 100% healthy all the time and to have to trot out that number one roster each and every time. But you don't get that luxury either right now.
I'm not sure that they've earned a lot of those names, even that you said, have earned to be on that number one roster as well.
Wow.
All right, so hold on here before we go anywhere else.
Okay.
The World Cup's coming in. It's Canada, U.S., Mexico. Which country out of those 3 has the most pressure on them, and which country, like Mexico, expects to go to the final? U.S., we need to get to semifinal round.
Yeah,
Canada needs to get to the second round.
Yeah.
So which team has more pressure on them?
Mexico. It's
I'm U.S. It's basically a U.S. tournament when you look at things. I mean, the other ones are kind of all right. It's kind of what is Trump saying his 51st and his 52nd state are involved in this tournament. So I think that the U.S. has the most pressure because it's basically them hosting. Basically, it's them kind of beating their chests more than anyone else. And I think that the U.S. has the most expectation.
Oh, no, I think that the U.S. has the most expectation. Yes, I think that Mexico traditionally has the most pressure, and it's self-imposed. The U.S. obviously you can sit there and mention the U.S. because of the coaching change and the investment and bringing in Mauricio Pochettino and everything that he wants to do and bring in this new wave when it comes to the national program. But Mexico's pressure is always self-imposed, and it never stops. And it doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't matter what the demands are. That's why they themselves, I think, step on a rake more than the average team in this hemisphere because of those expectations. And you're anticipating that Mexico, everything will be great. We got a new roster, this and that. And they always step on that rake. And then the sky is falling and, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then you fire a coach and then the whole cycle starts all over again. So that the pressure, I think, for Mexico has always been there. I think it's elevated for the United States now because of the investment that they've made. And frankly, I think that Canada, of the 3, has the least amount of pressure because of what Jesse has been able to do so far and what they've been able to do in the tournaments while Jesse has been in charge.
So if America lays an egg,
Oh.
what John, you're American, you know what's going on.
Yes, I'm aware. Thank you. Yes.
you see what's happening. They're playing some matches in Atlanta. If they do lay an egg,
Yeah.
What is there an inquest like a couple years ago when Team Canada could not win the gold medal or whatever?
It
Is
won't.
there an
It won't be an inquest, but you'll have tiki torches and pitchforks, I'm sure, at the U.S. national team headquarters fairly soon thereafter. Considering the investment that's made, and it's just on the other end of town. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away from the studio here. You got 27 national teams that are going to be in the facility of a lifetime, and now you're getting all of these resources. If you were to do that, it would be, oh boy, let's put it this way, we'd have stuff to talk about in July and August and September of 26. I'll tell you that.
And do you think that it's more possible of them laying an egg than actually going far?
Well, I mean, define far. I mean, I think that you want to get it. You want to get out of group. You want to get a couple of wins under your belt.
Let's say Elite 8 or Final 4, I guess.
I mean, I think if you're in there, I think that you're right there in the wheelhouse of your expectation. I think that that's what you're hunting for in this particular situation. You want to get out of group. If you don't get out of group, then you're going to have it is going to be you want to talk about Carm turning the hairdryer on some folks sometimes in national team duty. It's going to be the whole salon that's going to get all their hair dryers turned on U.S. Soccer if that doesn't happen.
He likes your hair, Carm, he's saying. All right. Now, Carm, let me ask you this. What would you say is a successful World Cup for Team Canada?
Oh, getting out of group.
Oh, stop.
I think it's more than that.
Successful?
Absolutely more than that. Absolutely more than that. I would say that so it's going to go to the I would say round of 16 would be successful, would be a success. I mean, we're talking about a semifinal team in Copa America with, supposedly big, big South American teams. We're talking about a team that's competed against Argentina. So I think that, yes, I think at least around the 16 would make sense for this group.
All right. I
think that would be, a reasonable achievement.
All right, I know John has to scatter there. John, tell everybody what, because you haven't done this in a long time. What's up with OSG Sports? What's up with soccer down here, soccer over there, soccer up in England, soccer everywhere?
It exists in all of the platforms. As I sit here and try to see what the word is on I'm looking at the U17 match involving the U.S. and Morocco. So GJ, I think, just got a yellow card, but nothing.
What's the Canada score? I've been trying to. What's the Canada Ireland score?
I will effort, please.
He's efforting. I will here on the Fired Up Network.
Yes, but here at SDH, nothing's changed. I'm still hosting the morning show, 9:05 a.m. Eastern time until, and we talk about anything and everything that is there. And Canada is down 1-0 to Ireland with 10 minutes to go. And you can watch that one on Telemundo. So you've got everything with SDH. Network has a lot of stuff going on. Be a part of it on socials at Soccer Down Here. And we're doing, like I said, we've got the morning show. We got all of our tape content. We've got coverage of everything in MLS Next Pro, the college game, the high school game here in and around. And so literally just like friend, be a part of the conversation. We are not going anywhere, and we're looking forward to the next 5 years where business is going to be picking up, according to old JR, when it comes to everything and the national team here in the footprint.
I'm glad you mentioned JR because I have a question for Carm. And John, I know you want to know this.
Uh-huh.
I know you want to know this. Now, Carm, the last time is now tournament. All right? Are you the last opponent for John Cena, and have you seen him lately?
Of course he has.
Yeah.
All right.
Saw him the other day.
Yeah. So Carm, let me ask you a question as we close this out. We got a minute here. You talk about your team winning the championships and all that. Take us through when they finally won, the celebration with like 25, 30 kids. John, when's the last time we had a good beer, a good champagne, a good celebration? And that's all. I can't believe this guy didn't call me because we were crushed when we lost the World Series, and it's all Carmen's fault.
No, it's my fault because I turned the game on and listened on the radio when the ninth inning home run got hit.
Oh, God. All right, Carm, take us through what it was like winning.
It's our fifth with our group but our fifth national championship with our group. This one was special. It's been a while. We went through a lot. Our top player lost his father the morning of the semifinals, and our captain, and his father asked him to continue playing, and he did, and he ended up scoring the winning goal in the final. And great storyline. Something that
Let's
and
give
it
him
was
a
just
shout
it
out. What's
was
his name?
Christian Zapieri, who he has, hopefully he's going to be drafted again in the CPL. And a lot of these guys made a statement as individuals, but they definitely made a statement as a group. In doing what they did and the conditions they did so. So yeah, it was a special one for sure.
All right, and you mentioned the
So
CPL. Congratulations to
yeah,
ahead of
lots of
the
the drafts coming up soon. So we'll see. The CPL final was world news as well. They pretty much played it in the snow just like us. An hour later, a couple hours later after we finished. So it was definitely a Canadian flavor to footy that weekend.
and we'll be back here shortly on the Fired Up Network. More soccer coverage as we head into the World Cup. And Carm has promised me and John to get us a ring, to get us something championship and everything like that, right? Right, Carm? And if not, you're gonna shave your head bald, right?
Whoa.
I said Carm, I didn't say John.
No, but still, I mean,
Hey, look at that nice hair he has. I haven't seen this guy in a year, and his
you
haircut
don't.
is so immaculate.
I mean, you don't want to mess with the man's flow. Come on now.
Carm, what do you say about your flow?
Yeah,
Are you flow riding it?
I just woke up. So I have no idea.
Hey,
I haven't really looked in a mirror in a while.
Look, Carm's lettuce is bar none. It always has been.
All right. For the soccer show, that's John Freeman Nelson, OSG Sports. Check it out. Great soccer coverage. And, of course, championship coach Carmine ISACCO will be back with the soccer show hopefully next week. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, guys.